Close to Home, a personal look at the opioid epidemic in Iowa.
So a huge part of recovery is learning how to manage the ups and downs of life and understand that you can live through it and have that experience. So a lot of what substance use disorder counselors do is walk through experiences with their clients. So that's my plug for the combination of medication-assisted treatment and counseling. They have to go together. So that's one of the hats that I wear here. And then until September 19th, 2018, I also wore the hat of being the parent, the mother of a young woman who was active in her heroin addiction. My daughter's addiction problem started when she was a young teenager, probably. We discovered that she was drinking when she was about 13 or 14. At the same time, we discovered that she was using marijuana. And I was very much one of those, hey, we see the problem, then we can address it. You know, I wasn't going to be one of those parents who denies. So we got her assessed right away, got her into some outpatient treatment, but she didn't disclose this to us until many years later that she had been sexually assaulted by a high school student. So that's one thing I would really want people to understand, is that their loved one who is caught up in this addictive cycle, they want to get clean. And when they lie to us about, oh, you know, I've been clean, they're deluded. And it's not, I hate to say this out loud because it took me a long time to figure it out. It wasn't about me. You know, the lies weren't about my daughter wanting to hurt me. The lies were about my daughter wanting to get clean, being unable to, and being deeply ashamed of that. So she would tell me what she knew I wanted to hear, not because she was manipulative. She wanted it to be true too. She didn't have the tools. She didn't know how to get there. If a parent or a loved one came to me asking for an advice, having really come to the conclusion that their loved one is caught in this cycle of addiction, here's what I would suggest. There are two people you need to take care of. You got to take care of yourself, and you've got to take care of your loved one, the addict. And it's a lot like on airplanes where they say, you know, when the oxygen mask falls down, you should breathe through it first and then provide it to the young person or the infant. Same for you as the advocate of the person caught up in addiction. So I would strongly suggest that you find a local Al-Anon meeting. What Al-Anon has done for me is it helps me set healthy boundaries, and it helped me understand how to be fully present to myself so that I could get off the roller coaster of my daughter's behavior, so that my own happiness did not depend on whether I believed she was okay today, whether she was talking to me today, whether she was in jail today, whether I even knew where she was today. You know, I have my own life, and addiction was taking her, but don't let it take you down also. You're no help to anybody if you do, okay? So that's number one. Number two, find a way, and Al-Anon will help you with this, find a way to love that person in a way that is safe for you. Do not cut off communication. If they're at a more advanced stage of their addiction, they've already done that for you. They've taken care of it. They've moved away. Their phone doesn't work anymore. They don't want you to see them the way they are. Do your best to find out where they are and establish some pattern of communication, whether it's on the phone, going to coffee with them, you know, once a week, once a month. And here's the trick. You need to do it no matter whether they're using or not. Don't put any conditions on it. The more open minded and hearted you can be with your spouse or your adult child, your brother, your coworker, the more open-hearted and non-judgmental you can be, the more they know that you're a safe person and they can be honest with you about the extent of their addiction. It doesn't pay off with a guarantee that they'll get better, but it pays off in giving you both the relationship, the kind of relationship that you're able to have right now. And I'll tell you, something's better than nothing, right? So there's that. My daughter did die of a heroin overdose on September 19th, 2018. And looking back now, interestingly, I didn't really appreciate that she was at the end stages of her addiction, even though I've worked in this field professionally for 5+ years. I learned through my experience with my daughter. She had had an abscess and was living in Florida. She called me last summer asking me to come down because she was in hospital for actually 30 days because she had an abscess on her right ankle and also had MRSA and a staph infection. It was really remarkable watching her go through withdrawal the first couple of days that she was there. And it was interesting and heartbreaking to experience both the stigma that was attached to her and us once the hospital folks at least knew out loud that she was using heroin. But it was also, and continues to be, infuriating the ways in which internal medicine says we'll fix the abscess, or infectious disease medicine will say we'll make sure the MRSA or staph infection is gone, and then they're out. There was absolutely no interest in or capability to treat the underlying condition, which was the addiction. Be the advocate for the patient, and if you have a loved one who's hospitalized for one of these related problems, go there and work really hard to have them be discharged into treatment.